All right. Welcome back. Everyone who's live, we've got a really awesome crew here. Got some new faces and some people here. What's awesome about these calls, not only live, but also watching the recordings, is that you basically get to network while you are here, right? So this is all about coming from a place of service, a place of love, a place of generosity and kindness, where we can form collaborations, joint ventures, partnerships from our core virtues, of love and of generosity and kindness. And the fact that you can do that means you can build your business as a byproduct, right? The reason why we started this is basically because the world and the entrepreneurial world of online business generally isn't set up this way. It's generally set up to thrive your patterns of ego, right? And so I thought I'd just house this environment for people who want to thrive with like-minded people from that aspect of giving. And so what we do at the start of these calls, for those of you who are new, is to remember a time when you did a random act of kindness, or you did something for someone else, not to get something back, but you did it without expectation, right? Whether it be a random act of kindness, whether it be something that you just felt was right, not from what you could get, but because it's who you are. And if you can remember a time in your past when this happened, you might also want to recognize how that felt in your body. How does it feel to do a random act of kindness? How does it feel to do something from a place of generosity, a place of love? Right? Notice how that feels in your body, and that's an indication of what's tapping into this divine energy that's connecting all of us, right? What's in your highest alignment? So a lot of people are learning business tactics, tools, and strategies, but they're doing it from a place of safety and a place of security, and then wanting to achieve the results in order to feel significant. And what I found is those are the egoic patterns of online business building, but it's now starting to shift. We're seeing a heightened consciousness shift in the planet. And I feel we can build our businesses that are in aligned with that, in aligned with where the consciousness of the planet is going. And it is around kindness, and it's around love, connection, oneness. And that's why it feels good in your body when you give without any expectation. I think if we stay there, if we operate from that place, we can grow as a byproduct, right? And that's what I found in my business. That's what everyone's finding here. So many people messaged me throughout the week saying the incredible people they've met just by these calls, right? So while you're on this call and while you're listening to this, and you're going to meet some awesome business owners here, while they're sharing their business, while they're sharing what they're up to, while they're sharing how we can help, ask yourself that question in the back of your mind of, how may I serve? How can I serve this person? Who can I connect them with that's in my network? That could be an ideal client, could be a key source of collaboration for them. How can we collaborate ourselves? How can I send them some resources? How can I just get on a call with them and give them some support? And notice how that feels when you come from that place of love and kindness. And so many people here have said, I've got on calls with so many people from this group, and now their business is just rocking and rolling with the key connections that they've made, and it just expands, right? So have that image in your mind of those random acts of kindness, or that place of generosity that you operate from while you're on this call, and just breathe with it, and just know that that's who you are. And this is why I think I meditate 2 hours a day. And this is what I realized coming out of a meditation a few days ago, is the reason why this is so powerful is because our ego has a couple stories, and it's around what I call the 2 S's. It's like safety and significance. Ego thrives off safety and significance. It's, as long as I stay safe, I'll be okay. And if I'm significant, you call that success or status, then I'll be loved. Right? If I'm safe, I'm okay. And if I'm successful and significant, I feel like I'm worthy of love. The reason why this is so powerful is because when you operate from a place of kindness, a place of generosity, is you realize love isn't something you can get. Love is something you can give. Why? Because you are love. And when you operate from a place of love, like when you do a random act of kindness, when you operate from a place of giving without expectation as how you may get, the reason why it feels so good in your body is because you break down those stories of what I call the ego's illusion. It's the ego's illusion that safety equals being okay, right? Or that significance equals I'm worthy of love. And when you operate from the place of love, you break down that story and you realize that you are love. And in fact, love is now something you can give because that's who you are. I think with that energy, we can provide so much more value to the world because you're coming from a place that's creative. And that's really the place where all of you guys are coming from. And that's why you're here. So that's really what I'd love to, the energy that I'd love to bring, and the people that are here really, truly operate from that place. For those of you who are part of the Patreon of Purpose, I'll let you know quickly before we get into some speakers, quickly of the shift we've made this month. So some people here are part of the Patreon, what I call Patreon of Purpose, where we contribute to some really, really cool causes around the world. And this is what we've done this month. So we've contributed 92 days of primary school education for disadvantaged kids in Zimbabwe. We've granted a child 28 days of access to a place to live for an orphaned child in Kenya, and also planted 68 trees to restore the environment in Kenya as well. So plenty of aspects of health, plenty of aspects of education, plenty of aspects of environment as well. And I've been reading up on the aspects of schooling and home in Kenya, and those organizations are really designed to just boost up the child's not only education but also their social and environmental awareness of their country and how they can sustain well-being long term. So there's really, really cool, worthy causes. Awesome job, guys. It's so cool to be able to create those impacts around the world with you all. So this is the type of group we have here, and this is the type of group that you'll be getting to know and getting to collaborate with. I think that is basically all I had covered. So I'd be more than happy to invite you guys on who's willing to come and share and speak. Tracy, maybe type in the chat if you're ready to come on. I'd love to introduce you to the community and rock and roll with getting to know a bit more about you and how we can help. So feel free to type in the chat. Awesome. She's ready to go. I'll promote you to a panelist and let's get chatting. We never know what happens whenever I promote someone to a panelist. We never know what's going to happen next. It's like a lucky dip. Welcome, Tracy. Feel free to unmute yourself when your Zoom catches up.
Wow, that is fancy. Y'all are fancy here.
We are very much.
That's so. Amazing. I did not even know you could do that.
Yes, I'm very skilled in the art of Zoom.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Don't believe me. I've had so many things in the last few months when they're changing everything, and as soon as I log on and they've got some updates, I'm like, oh, here we go.
Right.
It's a mixed bag. Don't know what the hell's going to happen.
Right. Oh, well, I'm so glad to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Say hi, everyone. Everyone, this is Tracy. She's doing some awesome stuff, and I'd love to give you the floor to explain a bit about your business, a bit about what you're doing moving forward, how you help, and it'd be cool to see who we can connect you with.
Sure. Well, hi everybody. I'm really delighted that I was invited to come, and it looks like such an amazing group and so many wonderful things that are happening here. The hardest question anybody can ask me is, what do you do? Because the answer is I'm a voice coach. But what I've discovered over the 30 years that I've been doing this is that it really is beyond typical. It's not typical voice coaching. My methodology is called the psychology of the voice effect. And my body of research is centered around our subconscious actually puts our voice in. And so anything that is in your voice that you are aware of or not aware of, there are things that could be limiting you. So not only does this subconscious create the voice, but a big part of my work is in discerning how other people's subconscious are processing your voice. So it's really fascinating work, and it's really, I've had people say it's identity, it's transformation, it's finding it, I call it taking you back to one before the world got in the way and told you that you had to talk like this and you had to sound like that and you better not say that and you better lock your jaw and you better brace and you better hold your breath and you better get it right, especially the words. And so I've been doing this for 30 years now. It wasn't exactly what I probably never would have planned to be a voice coach, because I was actually raised in a family where I wasn't allowed to speak. And so if there's anybody who ever felt like, how in the world can I do that? How is that my purpose when this was my upbringing? That's where the magic is. That was the fuel that allowed me to do this incredible work that I do today. I work with people all over the world, and I work with people in all walks of life. I work with a lot of business people. I come in and I coach their sales teams, or I coach their management teams. I work with a lot of entrepreneurs. I work with a lot of entrepreneurs that aren't that comfortable on video. And I work with a lot of celebrities out here. I'm in Los Angeles, California. And I think my end goal, my main goal, my sole goal before I leave this planet is to teach every single person how powerful their voice is and how much somebody's waiting out there to hear their message. So I'm on a pretty intense mission. I've done tremendous research on criminality and being silenced. I've done research on what happens to our careers, what happens to our success, all of these things when we really don't maximize the power of our voice or have the inner freedom to use our voice to reveal the best version of us. So does that cover everything?
Totally.
A little, yeah. Okay.
Totally. That's awesome, because we've talked in the past. I reached out to Tracy because I heard her on one of the podcasts I listened to. It was a huge podcast called Mind Your Business with James Wedmore, and she was the guest. And I thought her story was so cool, how she wasn't encouraged to speak as a child, like you just explained, but now it's just your mission and purpose to help people share their voice authentically. And like you just explained, sometimes when people are sharing their content, you are the go-to expert with recognizing not only what's being said, but how other people are unconsciously registering and what they're picking up. And that's such a cool psychology of the voice. It's such a cool topic that people can benefit so many from, not only learning about this, but no doubt you can connect with people who have a podcast. So if anyone has a podcast, feel free to put any links in the chat. Feel free to put any links. If this is on YouTube, feel free to comment and put your links anywhere. There are many people who would love to hear Tracy's story and share this value, because everyone wants to get out their authentic voice. Everyone wants to just live an authentic life and share their truth. And Tracy's the expert. So who specifically can we connect you with that would either be a really good connection or a really good collaboration for you?
Well, definitely the podcast. I definitely love that suggestion, because like I said, the more people are not, what I have discovered, and I may have even said this on James's show, is that people are not necessarily thinking about the power of their voice and maximizing it. So for people to even hear this message and discover that, oh my gosh, I'm actually being interpreted this way, that's not what I mean at all, is massive. It's a massive game changer for people. So just if you have a podcast, if you have a show, those are definitely things I would love to do, because I want more people to hear the message. With regards to connection, there's so many different people that I work with. I think entrepreneur groups are huge. I, I I believe that businesses where they have teams and where they want to up level their communication and be more effective. They want to save time. They want to make more money without having to spend more money per se. Those are probably the things that those are the that's what I'm most connected to. So it seems like that could be really helpful for me.
Beautiful, beautiful. And so many people have have the feedback from me about the authenticity of my voice and how powerful it's been on the podcast, on my videos, on these calls. Like, they can feel that I'm very connected and I'm very present. I get that feedback all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it flows naturally for me because I do a lot of the inner work and I meditate beforehand so that I can make sure I'm present. Although sometimes it's hard when I'm reading comments and doing all these different things. People can feel that that I have their best interest at heart, and that's basically what you do. Is when you release content, people can feel that vulnerability, authenticity in your voice, and it goes so much more deep than just how you sound. It's really what you feel, and it's really what's going on internally and the deep psychological things that are happening. So
Yeah.
that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Is there anything else that you want to share with this group and let us know how we can help?
Well, the only other thing I can think of, and I'm so excited to read the comments. I'm trying to focus here.
It's
By
tough,
the
isn't it?
way, it's really tough. I'm really impressed. By the way, Tyson, I have a podcast and I had interviewed Tyson yesterday, and I just can't wait for it to roll out, because when we met, I knew our work was in alignment. But after that interview, I just went, oh my gosh, my people that are trying to rewrite their voice story, which is what I call it, they're going to just love this episode. I'm always looking for people that are doing really cool things with their voice. What are you doing in the world with your voice? So if anybody likes to do podcast interviews, I would certainly love to hear from you as well. So no, I'm just grateful. I'm grateful to know people that are working from the place of the heart and not this is the mission. So I'm just delighted to be here, and I'm excited to connect with any of you. If you have a good fit for me, I can't wait to hear it. And then certainly, obviously, let me know how in the world I can help you as well.
Totally. Tracy comes from a place of giving. We talked about this the other day when we just had a chat. She's just like, how good is it just to get on the call and just help someone, and serve and be a place of being a place of kindness. And that's why I wanted to invite her on here, because she matches those values that we're all about. So when we invite someone on next, Tracy, could you take the time to put your Facebook link to your profile in the chat?
Sure.
So people can just go in there and do that. So guys, you can ask yourself, who can I connect with Tracy? It might be another podcast host. You've already got like 5 or 6 people who are wanting to interview you or be a guest on your show. There's a lot of people here who we can connect you with anyway. But just ask yourself the question of, who can I connect her with? Who can she be a really cool fit for? Or who, if you have an inkling of like, oh, I should connect these people, but I don't know why, that's just an indication of just doing it, right? Because you just got to follow that instinct. I do that all the time. So make sure you can connect her. Just reach out and add her to your network. Her podcast is Captivate the Room. So Captivate the Room. It's awesome to develop those sort of skills of your voice and your authenticity and sharing your truth. That's really, really cool. So yeah, more than happy. That would be really cool. So feel free to put your link in the chat, and so people can just go in there and add you and put you in their network.
Oh, cool. Okay, sure. All right, I will. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you
Tracy,
so much.
Thanks so much. That was awesome.
Now, do you move me out, or do I
I'll
move
move you
myself
out.
out?
I'll definitely
You'll
move
move
you
me
out.
out.
Yeah, I'll definitely move you out. Your time is up. There we go. Awesome. It's cool to hear those sort of stories. Not only is she operating from that place of helping serve, but it's because she comes from a background of not being encouraged to share her voice. It's such a cool story, and you can hear that in her voice as well. And if you can't, if you're trying to think of ways to serve these speakers and nothing's really coming to you, you can also serve this group, right? You can invite people in. You can gift someone the opportunity to be a speaker, and also people who are in here who are coming from that place of service have also been sharing the YouTube link with their network, because they're wanting to spread the love, spread the joy, and do something to add this to their community. So if you want to share this YouTube link, I'll ask you at the end of the call as well, and you can let me know in the chat, and I'll make sure you get the link so that you can share it with your people and share it with your tribe. Because it's just really cool to jump on these sort of calls and meet some awesome people. And also, for those of you who are new, the way in which we all collaborate and connect is on Slack. So I don't have a specific group for all the members here, but I have set up a Slack channel where we've got 25, 30 people in there who have been on these calls, so that you can look through the names and see who it is you want to connect with, and you can send them private messages, and also go through the channels to promote your business, promote some links, and let everyone know who you're looking to connect with as well. So everything we're doing here, you can also do on the Slack channel in your own time, so that people can go there and read about your business and what you're all about. So that's something we can do. At some stage here, I might do it now when we invite another guest. I'll put the link to the Slack channel for those of you who are new. Now, Kirsten, are you ready to come on to share everything that's awesome about you? So I'll promote you to a panelist so you can be super special. Here we go. Feel free to unmute yourself. Feel free to say hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Thank you for having me here.
You're very welcome.
So this wasn't part of my morning's mission. So thank you for surprising me with this.
Hey, that's okay. We love surprises, don't we?
Yeah, I do. And I also, when you just feel totally aligned with things, and all of a sudden just things start coming together. And I just heard your introduction this morning all about, getting towards that love space. And for me, that's something that I've been working towards all my life. And it's not like I have it all sorted or anything like that, but I know that.
Damn.
I know it's still a journey, but I can wholeheartedly put my hand on my heart now and know that, I've gone over that massive hump, that hump. So now I can at least assess from an observer's point of view and go, okay, so maybe that wasn't so good, but you can always do better. So, awesome. But the other part of alignment was Tracy coming on, because yesterday, during this whole COVID fiasco, I've sort of just taken my attention just away. I've just been into isolation for myself, and just coming back to who it is I am. How do I want to put myself out in the world? What's important to me, and all of that kind of stuff. So Monday, I put myself back out on Facebook, and then immediately I was like, oh crap, I don't know whether I want to do this. But then yesterday I was like, okay, hang on a minute. Let's just go back. What's inspiring? What do you want to do? Where does your energy want to take you? And I want to speak. I want to, before all of this started happening, I was in the middle of a self-love speaking tour, which got ground to a halt pretty quickly. So, however, we have the online space. So I was like, I want to be inspired. I want to be inspired. I want to share people who have got this wonderful message with other people. And immediately I got this this lady, and I was like, yes, this is what I need to do. This is what I need to do. So I came on this, and there was no expectation at all. And then your first speaker is about bringing somebody's voice out. And
That's
I'm just
happens.
like, yes.
That's what happens.
So, you know, that's what I would love to do. That's my, I would love to share, have a conversation, you know, interview, but converse, just share people's mission, purpose, what it is that they do, and allow people to be inspired by that message. Because I think that's what's kind of missing at the moment.
Totally.
There's a lot of heavy energy, and I'd like to just keep things in that high vibration.
So let everyone know what it is. So you're in the middle of a self-love speaking tour, but give everyone an idea about what it is you do, and what is that true message that you're spreading to the world. And I'll do that while I look up the Slack link, and I'll put the Slack link in the chat box. So go ahead.
Okay, so we'll just get to this nuts and bolts thing. So I'm a transformational speaker and facilitator, and I'm inspiring a new generation of leaders to lead with their soul. And what that means is leading from that place of, from you, coming back into your heart, coming back into who you are, and then leading from that place. And you know, we're taught that only special people can be leaders, but we can all be leaders. We're all leaders, and it starts from who we are, and then how we want to, who do we want to be in the world, and then minding the business of you. So you first, and then get clear on who you are and how you want to express in the world, and then look at the external world. Not the external world first, and then how am I going to get money? How am I going to get what you were talking about, significance and love and all that kind of stuff? Come here first, and then operate out. And I can tell you, my life changed the minute I realized I just had to be me. I just had to be me. I didn't have to be anyone else. I didn't have to prove anything. I didn't have to have any fancy words or talk about anything specific other than what is really, really important to me. And then you're operating from complete alignment. And then the people who are attracted to that message or attracted to, you know, that vibration, they just come.
Yeah, that's it. And that's exactly like why you resonate with Tracy as well. It's like you're coming from that place of alignment. So when you jump on a call like this, some reason, I don't know what the hell goes on, but you just meet the right people, and some people come into alignment, and so many people here will be resonating. Jen says that you guys are like twins. So no doubt you need to talk with Jen a bit more. But it's so cool. And let me ask you, what's your deep why? Why is this a clear pull for you to share this sort of message?
Well, because I guess for me, for so long, like freaking most of my life, actually, this is not a new journey, but it's only been a new journey in terms of finding my voice. But it's always been about, I don't want to go in and heal people's lives. I don't see myself as this healer of other people. But what I do see is myself as a facilitator for them to heal themselves, to empower people to go on the journey and heal whatever aspect in their life is disharmonious. Because I don't think anything is broken. I think that things just need to sort of snap into, it's like a jigsaw that just kind of needs to have a little tweak.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, the journey has been for me is that I thought that there was something wrong with me. You know, I thought there was something wrong, but there's nothing wrong. You just don't think the same way as other people. So,
how many people can share that underlying story? There's something fundamentally wrong with me. From coaching hundreds of business owners, I know that is one of the key stories. There's something fundamentally wrong, right? It goes along with the story of, I need to achieve this in order to feel how I want to feel. There's just some underlying unconscious stories that connect us all, right? That are all basically hardwired, that we can start raising real key awareness around. That's beautiful. And no doubt everyone here is loving your energy. So let's, who are you looking to connect with? Do you have, are you looking for guests? Are you looking to organize collaborations? Who can you send your way?
At the moment, what I just want to do is interview people. I want to have these conversations about what people do. Just that's what I want to do right now. That's where my energy wants to take me. And I feel like that's where I'd love to go.
Cool.
So if you want to be interviewed by me or have a conversation, either we converse, whatever, I'm not attached to how that looks, but let's get in touch.
Yeah, totally. So you can feel free to put the link to your Facebook or how people can connect with you in the chat box. I've put the link, I'll put it again, but I'll put the link to people to join the Slack channel as well, so that people can just jump in there, and everyone that's on there will be able to just connect and just be able to reach out, and you can do that. Dan's putting out an invitation to a lot of people as well. He just loves getting on some quick chats with people to make sure that there's some alignment and everything like that. But yeah, no doubt a lot of people on here will be able to have a cool conversation about sharing their voice. A lot of people here are content creators who are just sharing their heart, spreading a key message, and doing what they can in the world. So that's beautiful. No worries about that.
All right.
Anything else you want to share?
No, I'll let somebody else have their go, their time in the limelight.
No problem. No problem. Well, thanks so much for sharing. That was awesome.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
You. Bye.
Okay. Like I said, guys, there's plenty of ways you can serve. It's just about being creative. I'd love to get Melody on next if you can, because I've been talking to you during the week. If you'd love to, if you're ready to jump on, I'll give you a chance to share. I'll give you so she's all set. Cool. So if you guys just being creative with how you can serve, how you can help everyone on here. It also does take a little bit of, a lot of people come to these calls and they can be like, everyone can connect with me. But what's been really cool is that everyone's been taking the effort to reach out and connect, right? And when you take some effort to reach out and connect from a place of love, that expands, right? When this is why the group is growing so organically, is because I reach out to people and then they get in contact with other people and they contact other people, and then a lot of people lead to me. But it's because I love putting in a little bit of effort to reach out and get to know someone and initiate that conversation. So putting in that effort means all the difference to making this successful and meeting the right people. So that's really cool. And like I said, if you're figuring out how you can help, you can also help this community by inviting some people in. You can give someone the opportunity to speak. You can share this with others. You can share the YouTube recording as well. So there's many ways you can serve, many ways in which you can get a lot of benefit from this. And that's why so many people show up live and wanting to engage. So let's get to know Melody. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome.
Hi. So great to be here.
That's good. Do you have your green tea?
Well, you know what? This looks really disgusting, but I finished my green smoothie and that's just the sludge left on the glass.
You're going to have to go fill it up. You're going to have to get another one.
I'll have to get another one with my
I'll pour my green tea into your mug.
Okay, we'll just
cup.
get it in there. Get it in there.
Cool. Welcome. Good to be here. It's awesome to meet new people, and it's awesome to give you the opportunity to meet the crew, meet everyone on here. Obviously, you've known in the chat that people come from this place of not only they're engaging in looking to come from a place of kindness, but really looking to connect you with some really cool people. So it'd be awesome to hear a bit more about you, what you do, why it is you're here, and who we can connect you with.
Absolutely. Well, I am a self-care consultant and a wellness coach, and I do speaking and coaching. I came to this realization about 4 years ago. I had a car accident, and I suffered a traumatic brain injury and was paralyzed temporarily, thankfully. Have spent the last 4 years doing a lot of rehab and learning all those new things again, and learning old things again new. And the realization came to me that I have a son who's disabled, and so I've been a primary caregiver for 24 years. And the realization came to me that once I had my accident, I realized how important caregivers are, because I relied on a caregiver for myself. And even though I never really quite looked at myself with that level of importance, once I needed a caregiver, it was like, oh, wow, this is really, really important that my caregiver is coming and they're refreshed and they have the ability to do the things they need to do to help me. And that was like this aha moment, like, this is what I need to do. I need to go and I need to help caregivers integrate self-care into their lives, because we don't always find the chance to really fill our own cups. We spend so much time giving to other people that we forget that we have to somewhere in there fill our own cup. I like to say, don't be the char. Dan could attest to that. That's kind of my standard. You know, like in a candle, when you light it and then it burns all the way down and there's no wax left and it's just this little blackened wick. We can't let ourselves be the char. So that's kind of my mission, is to help people light their candles. So.
Wow. What was it like having that realization from needing a carer to then shift to then having that awakening and say, oh my God, this is actually what I'd love to contribute to the world?
You know, it was really surprising, because like I said, I'd been a caregiver for decades. I took care of my son, I took care of my dad. It's just was part of my identity. And I knew it was important, but I just didn't really internalize that until it was on somebody else's watch that I needed. You know, I was like, oh gosh, it's really important that the person who's helping me is taking time for himself, and that they're coming refreshed, and that they have the energy. And it was just kind of, like I said, this aha moment in the middle of the night. One night I literally pulled up my phone and it all just was like texting it in my phone, drawing little diagrams of what my logo would be. Yeah, it was just one of those divine inspiration moments of like, okay, here's what you're supposed to put out in the world.
Yeah. And what's cool, I'm hearing, is that you were a carer for a long time and didn't place yourself at that level of importance. Therefore, when you're sharing your voice, the reason why it's so important is because other people are probably in that situation where they're a carer, but they're not seeing the importance in themselves, right?
Exactly. Absolutely right. You know, it's so easy to do all of the things that we need to do to, you know, get through the day. And then you don't think about the fact that somewhere in there you matter. I always tell people, you know, self-care is not a reward, it's a responsibility, and it's a responsibility to yourself.
Totally. The question that I always love asking is how do you share your content? Do you have groups? Do you have you know, certain places you place content so that people can get to know a bit more about your work?
Yes, I have a Facebook, Rise Up Care and Wellness, and also an Instagram by the same thing. I have a website that's in the initial stages. I'm a pretty newbie to this.
Cool.
I've been a career speech pathologist for 34 years, so I just finished my last day about a week ago. And so started my business wholeheartedly in about January. So I'm still finding my way. And like I said, I was in a different profession altogether. So just learning what business means and how it all pulls together. So
that's awesome. No doubt,
no doubt
Dan's helping you there as well. So
yes, absolutely. Yeah,
anyone who's got questions about setting up a business or business alignment, those sort of things, feel free to reach out to Dan. He's in here now, and he that's really what he does and what he helps people do.
Yeah, he's an awesome coach.
That's really, really cool. So you have this mission, this purpose that you want to spread to the world, and helping people find. So feel free to reach out and look up those Facebook and Instagram. It was Rise Up, right? Rise Up.
Yes, Rise Up. Yep.
Care and
And I'll
Wellness.
post it in the link too. But yeah, so really I'm just trying to get my message out into the world. And if you know people that could, benefit from having a coach, or somebody who is caring for someone, I'm going to be I'm working towards getting a weekly online chat group going for caregivers where we can come in and have a little meetup,
Cool.
have a cup of coffee, cup of tea, green tea. But
I'm
just
in.
because I know those days when you're a caregiver and sometimes you don't even have time to breathe. And so it's nice to just know, even if you could pop on for, 5 minutes, that you should, be able to pop in there and just go, hey, this is what's going on for me, or even just pause and listen. I would say self-care can be as simple as just taking a breath.
Yeah, absolutely. That's
So,
such a good
but
message.
yeah, Dan just posted on there. I do have I'll post the link for that too. I have on my Facebook, I think it's on there too, but I have developed a self-care goal setting tool. So it's just a series of surveys. And then by taking those surveys, it allows you to kind of prioritize some self-care goal areas. And then it walks people through the steps of how that works, and actually makes you set the goals for yourself for self-care, because we set goals for so many other things, but nobody thinks about setting goals for self-care. And so that's one of the things I really prioritize.
Mm. Yeah, we've had Michelle on here who helps people. She's just got a course out. It helps who helps special needs children, and helps the parents of special needs children educate them from home and do distance learning or homeschooling. And so
Wonderful.
we can connect you with her, because she'll be doing a lot of content that could be coupled with what you're doing for carers as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That would be awesome. And so
many, yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, feel free to put your link to your Facebook in the chat.
I will.
That would be really, really cool.
Awesome.
And everyone on here can reach out, can add value in the way in which would be helpful. If you have any specialty or expertise in building businesses, or can create some sort of platform for Melody to get her voice out there and spread this awesome message, then feel free to do that. Is there any other way in which we can help? Anything that comes to mind and who we can connect you with?
I'm trying to think. I think the biggest thing is, like I said, just if you know people who maybe are looking for speakers, I do keynotes. I do like kind of tell my story from the perspective of having had a child with special needs through my accident. And then also I do like breakout sessions on promoting self-care and goal setting and setting. I do vision boards for self-care and those kinds of things. So if you know of anybody who's looking for that, yes, Dan keeps pushing. Dan's pumping me. Thanks, Dan. Yes, I was on Dan's podcast on Dreams Are Real. I think I'm episode 63. So if you want to take a listen to that, check it out.
Everyone check out Dreams Are Real podcast, because I was on it and I've been listening to those episodes, and there's such cool stories.
Yes.
So amazing stories. Dan's awesome. He's just a master facilitator of those conversations. It's so cool. And also Tracy's got some group projects coming up as well. So anyone wants to jump in, like group type of work, Tracy's doing that sort of thing. But yeah, when you jump off here, feel free to put your link for Facebook in the group, so people can reach out, add you to the network, and also jump on the Slack channel so that people can reach out to you there. I'll post the link to that again as well. But is there anything else that you want to add before we jump off?
No, I'm just going to tell you all to remember to take care of yourselves.
Okay, I'll write that down.
Okay.
Cheers. Awesome. Thanks so much.
Awesome. Thank you.
Such an important topic. This is one of the big reasons why I meditate 2 hours a day. Is self-care. It's so important. It's something you can just forget about. And I'll be jumping into these calls and diving in deep and doing a lot of stuff, and then I'll realize, I'm letting some egoic patterns come in that I'm not recognizing, and I just step back and remember to just breathe. Right? Just breathe. Look after yourself, because the more your candle's thriving, the more light you give to the world. Right? So it's really, really cool, really important. We've got about 10 more minutes, guys. Does anyone else want to jump on really quickly? Type in 1 in the chat box if you want to jump on, and we'll see. Oh, we got Andrea. Andrea was first. I'll invite you on. Andrea, welcome.
Hello.
Feel free to share your name, and that's basically all we have time for. And then
Okay, no
goodbye.
worries. So no green tea.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm really well. Thank you. Thank you for this. So I won't beat around the bush. I'm a transformational courage coach and speaker, and I primarily like to work with women. So everything this morning has resonated. I primarily like to work with women who are in the midst of an identity crisis, who really don't know how to be true to themselves through obviously those hidden subconscious programming and conditioning. And I came to this space of wanting to be able to share my story and be able to support other people, because I didn't realize until I became widowed at 27 that I didn't actually know who I was. So my first child, all I wanted to do was be a mum and get married and have children. And my first son was diagnosed with cancer at 2 days old. He went into remission at 10 months old, and then my husband was killed 3 years later. So
wow.
That trauma, and although that's a part of my story, that is just my journey that led me to the identity crisis. It might be a divorce for somebody else. It might be stuck in a career. It doesn't really matter. We all have our journeys and we all have our stuff. But my message I really, truly want to be able to share is that we get to choose to know who we are. And it is from that place of grounding into ourselves and being able to self-care and being able to know how to nurture the aspects of who we are, that we can really turn anything around. And part of my journey in terms of that sort of soul work, and this is why I'm so truly grateful for this space, because I'm sort of new into it. So part of the journey was I'm remarried. I have a blissful second marriage. I have a third child. I have an amazing life. We traveled Australia in 2018. We relocated 2 states away with no jobs, no house, no idea, just this inner knowing that we needed to be somewhere else to find our way. And I really do believe that when we have the courage, and that's why I classify myself as a courage coach, when we have the courage to go within and really, truly know who we are and know how we became who we were, whether that is, parents that have said, don't do this, don't speak, don't talk, or, for my situation, obviously my trauma changed my direction, but that trauma didn't change other people's direction. And so being okay to say, but I need to be free to be me. And it's interesting because I'm running a 4-week program it starts on Monday, and it is called Free to Be Me. And it is about recognizing the subconscious and what gets in our way, where it came from, and then embodying meditation, mantra, essential oils, tapping, all of those beautiful self-care, nurturing things that bring us back to our whole self.
Wow. That's awesome.
That's me.
Such a cool story of, understanding that no matter what happens in life, there's always those lessons, right? There's always those lessons to be learned. There's always that awakening of things that you can raise awareness to. And no doubt that's what you're doing now is learning those lessons and putting out to the world, contributing what you can because of what you've gone through. Is that the way you would describe it?
Yeah, and primarily for me, I guess when I started, yes, the story is important. I do think our stories are important, but I want to be able to shine the light. I really, truly want people to understand, like, one of the biggest leaps for me in terms of being able to live my truth was learning to like what I didn't like about myself. It's actually learning to go into that aspect of that ego that gets in our way and go, but this is a part of me.
Yeah.
And where that stuff comes from. So yeah, I really truly want to be able to support, businesses to be, or corporations, or any of those areas that need to understand how to go within and become okay. become okay with who you are and how you've got there. And not like, I loved how you started this, that it's not about the outside world telling us who we are, or determining or defining our level of success or our level of safety. That's within us to find that.
Yeah, totally. So I'll give you an opportunity to put your link in the chat before everyone has to. I'm not sure who needs to jump off at the hour mark. I can hang out for a little bit more, but yeah, feel free to put the link in the chat so that people can connect with you, and also people can connect with you with the Slack channel as well. I'll put the Slack channel again.
No worries.
So people can join that. This is why I've been loving the help that I always love personally is when, like I said, when people do share this recording of what I'll post on YouTube, and that's because more and more people will get to know people like the speakers that you've heard from here. And so the more people can share that, the more people can learn about this type sort of work, and the more we can spread these incredible messages. So what I'll do for the speakers here, I'll just get you guys to send me some links of what you'd like me to put in the description on the YouTube recording, so that people can the viewers can reach out to you and add you to their network and reach out for however they feel would be a good fit. And then everyone here who is listening, who's either on this call live or who's on the recording, can put in the comments their links as well. So so everyone who's viewing this can learn more about you, your business, can reach out and add you to the network as well. So I'm just sort of housing and creating this environment of super connectors who are coming from that loving place. But is there anything else, Andrea, that you'd like to add before we finish up here?
No, probably just that, I guess, some of the connections I would like, if people know people that might be sort of struggling in some way, shape or form in their life and just need, obviously there's a lot of people that do that sort of work, but if they felt like there was an element of who I am or my story that could help others, then any sort of maybe recommendation or just share my page or whatnot would be fabulous.
Okay.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah, feel free to reach out to the people on here and initiate those conversations. And what's cool about this is as soon as someone gets to know you, they're going to look through their network and connect you with the right people. So that's cool. If they can share your content and spread this message, spread your story, that would be really cool as well. So thanks for jumping on and sharing a bit more about you and how we can help.
Thanks so much for having me. Really appreciate it.
Awesome. Okay, one and all. What a call. We got 4 speakers in, all with amazing stories. No doubt all the speakers as well can connect, because there's so many layers in which you can integrate your stories and how you can help each other. Like I said, there's so many people here who have podcasts, who have groups, who have platforms in which they'd love to share your story, in which they'd love to share your value to the world and add that type of content. So that's really, really cool. For those of you who want to jump in the Connect, Contribute, Collaborate group, a lot of you are already in there. That's awesome. But we run these calls every week, right? Same day, same time. So feel free to put in your calendar, because every week I'll have new speakers who are going to share more about them and everything like that. And also I'll have reoccurring speakers. So if you're here and you're here a lot of the weeks and engaging, I'd love to have you jump on again and do that work. So if you are one of those people who want to share this recording, feel free to type in 1 before you leave. Type it in the chat box. Just type in 1 if you'd like the recording, if you'd like the link, and I'll make sure to get it to you so that you can share this with your network. And it just means the world to me, because I set up this with no expectations, but I had no clue so many people were going to love it so much, and they're getting a lot out of it. And so I'm setting this up without expectation. I'm just doing it from my heart, from my love, from my kindness and joy. And so it means the world to me when people do want to reach out and get involved with spreading this message of building a business from a place of love and a place of kindness and a place of generosity. So it means the world to me. So I'll send that link to you guys who are willing to share it with your network. And Yeah, let's get this rocking and rolling. So before you leave, just take a breath, breathe all of this in, recognize that you're coming from a place of love, recognize that there's so much you can give. There's so much here that you can serve, and just allow that creativity to fester, just allow it to grow, just allow it to see what comes to you. And if something is a pull for you, if something really is a heart calling, especially in terms of the connections here, then make sure you follow through with that, because you'll be guided by something that's so much larger, so much bigger than what your mind can see. So I'm interested to see what magic we can create together. Let me know if this group has been beneficial. Just send me a message and let me know, because I'm always open for feedback. So thank you everyone for the speakers. Thank you for everyone who's jumping on the recording as well. It means the world to me. We'll keep this rocking and rolling every week. So I'll see you guys in 7 days time. Take care, guys. Have a great rest of your week.